Al Ittihad Credit Bureau, the agency conceived in 2010 to prevent another boom and bust credit cycle in the UAE, has opened for business. Residents who have had a loan rejected and who want to find out why, or those who are curious to find out how creditworthy they are, can head down to the Bureau's headquarters on the Al Falah Street, next to the Finance Ministry, or the Bureau's Dubai office on the Sheikh Zayed Road. Residents will need to present their Emirates ID, passport and a 110 dirham fee. The whole process should not take any longer than 10 to 15 minutes, according to the Bureau's customer service representatives. The Chief Executive Officer of the Bureau was quoted in local reports as saying that both financial institutions and UAE residents are able to obtain credit reports with a data accuracy rating of 99.5%, which surpasses international standards of credit data quality and accuracy. Experience in other countries shows that credit bureaus can help to stop individuals with a poor credit history from amassing further debt while easing the flow of credit to those able to repay loans. Banks benefit by generally not having to build such large provisions or money put aside to cover bad debts against the risk of defaults. Emirates Airline have reported a half-year net profit of 1.9 billion dirhams, a year-on-year increase of 8%, despite issues such as the disruption caused by the upgrading of the Dubai airport runway and the cancellation of some flights to Africa due to the Ebola outbreak. During the first half of the financial year 2014-15, Emirates reported continued business growth with revenue of 44.2 billion dirhams, a rise of 11% year-on-year. Capacity measured in available seat kilometers grew by 6.5%, whilst passenger traffic carried measured in revenue passenger kilometers was up 9.8%. The airline carried 23 million passengers during the 6-month period, and passenger seat factor averaged 81.5% compared with 79.2% last year. The volume of cargo carried also increased by 5.4%. During the first 6 months period, Emirates received 13 wide-body aircraft, 6 of those A380s, 7 were Boeing 777s, with 11 more new aircraft scheduled to be delivered before the end of the financial year in March 2015. Parent holding company, the Emirates Group, reported overall half-yearly revenues reached 47.5 billion dirhams for the period, up 12% year-on-year. As a result, net profit rose 1% to 2.2 billion dirhams. The group's travel services operation, Danata, reported that revenues rose 24% to 4.6 billion dirhams, while overall profit dropped 26% to 339 million dirhams, mainly due to the impact of the runway works at Dubai International Airport and the costs incurred to set up and launch handling operations at Dubai World Central. Abu Dhabi state fund Aabar Investments has raised its stake in Dubai-listed construction firm Arabtec to 34.93% from 18.94% with an off-market trade on Tuesday. According to a bourse statement, the trade, which made Aabar the biggest shareholder in Arabtec, was done at a price of 5 dirhams per share, compared to the stock's closing market price of 4 dirhams 26. Aabar bought the shares from former Arabtec chief executive Hassan Ismaik, who abruptly resigned in June after differences of opinion with Aabar. The stake held by Ismaik and companies related to him has now dropped to 11.8%. The sale appears to reduce a major source of uncertainty for Arabtec, one of the region's biggest construction firms, which is involved in projects including a 40 billion dirham plan to build 1 million homes in Egypt. Aabar's decision to rebuild its holding in Arabtec is now likely to be taken as a sign that it will use its resources to continue developing the construction firm as a top regional player. Union Properties' net profit took a dip in the third quarter to stand at 127.92 million dirhams compared with 171.86 million dirhams a year ago, although its income of 833.83 million dirhams for the first 9 months was comfortably above that from last year's, which stood at 303.02 million dirhams. The developer, whose portfolio includes ongoing projects at Motor City as well as the already well-established Green Community and Uptown Mirdif, saw a decline in revenues generated by property management and sales. For the first 9 months, it was 83.48 million dirhams against 1.12 billion dirhams. It reflects the mature levels that the company's project book has reached and which it will look to rectify with the upcoming launches of a slew of new projects. This includes the 1.1 billion dirham Vertex Towers, a cluster of 5 high-rises at Motor City. In the latest financials, there was also a drop in the share of profits from UP's joint ventures from 62.92 million dirhams for the first 9 months of last year to 18.96 million dirhams during the same period this year, although these numbers were improved by the gain on the valuation of its properties, which rose substantially to 922.86 million dirhams for the January to September period this year, as opposed to a gain in valuation of 56.25 million dirhams last year.